Hello, patchonestripe.com TV replacement parts. Your number one source for quality, hard to find TV replacement parts. Today, we're going to be looking at this Panasonic plasma television, model number TC-P55GT31. And I'm going to emphasize on this manufacturing date because once this set was completed, it had a beautiful picture on it. It was manufactured in 2011. So I'm going to show you in this video, I'm going to show you some of the troubleshooting techniques that I use to narrow down the problem with this television. I'm going to give you some information on finding parts for it, as well as for those of you that's out there with some working Panasonic plasma televisions. I'm going to give you some preventive maintenance tips that you can do yourself to maintain this television and have it functioning for a long time. These two particular things I'm going to emphasize on this preventive maintenance, one of them, well, both of them, is also the cause of some unnecessary failures with these particular TVs. I love these televisions. To me, I consider them the Cadillac of modern televisions because the picture is so great, the speed of the video. I mean, they are just awesome when we're talking about high definition televisions. And also, let's take the opportunity to keep them out of the landfill. So, with that being said, we're going to continue on with this video. Okay, now, this is this Panasonic plasma television that came in that it wouldn't start up. And we're going to call it no power. Most people say no power when it don't start up. Okay? Basically, the main board itself, the main power supply board, it seemed to be okay. With the age of the set and everything, that's the first thing I take apart, and I look for cracked circuits. I look for cracked circuits around everything with heat sinks on them and the transformers, because a lot of times they can shut down a television with a bad connection. And that's kind of minimize the expense of getting it repaired when you just basically doing some preventive maintenance or some maintenance like reflowing the solder on the parts that's attached to these heat dissipating shields and you call them heat sinks, and reflowing the solder around these transformers because they draw a lot of current. Okay, so when I went through this particular power supply board, and I didn't see nothing that could stop it. I reflowed what I could, and it didn't start to set up. Well, I started to do some troubleshooting. Now, this is a Japanese-made set, in which Japanese-made goods are, in most cases, superior products. And, well, the way I start off testing this is equivalent to a wide sustain boards on your Samsung and your LG TVs. Panasonic referred to them by alphabets, okay? And we're not going to really get into that much here, but you know the location is connected to your upper and lower buffer boards. So here we are here. So what I did was I disconnect this particular cable here, which comes from the power supply board, and then I check the two prongs. I use put it on ohms, and if they have continuity, well, I have a short somewhere here or connected to here. And this is what I found with this one. It had a short. So I say a short. It had continuity. So what I did then was I disconnected these upper buffer and lower buffer from this board, which left this board by itself. I disconnected this ribbon cable here, and it left this board right here. So once I did that, here we go with the process of elimination, and I go back and check continuity on these two pins here. I still had continuity. I mean, like low ohms, a few ohms, which let me know that it has something on this board that is shorted. Okay? It is shorted, and that's how I narrowed down to this particular board. Now, if I would have, after I disconnected these parts and go back and test this, and it's reading like milliohms and the millions of ohms, well, I would know I have a problem with one of these upper or lower buffer boards. And a lot of time with those, you could check them to ground, and if they grounded, they're bad. Or you could also let it play, turn it on for a while, and sometimes some of them will get really hot, and you know they bad. Okay, so I did the same thing with this particular board as well, and the two pins, it was open between them. We had no continuity, so I knew this board was good as well. And when I went over to the other side of this unit, in which I went to this board here we go, and I did the same thing. I checked for continuity, and they were open between these pins here, these two pins. So I knew I didn't have a short to ground there. So basically, it was pretty simple technique, which is characteristic of a good quality television. Easy to troubleshoot. Now, the problem became this board is no longer available, so you have to go through a couple of sources out there. One way you could do it, you can Google the part number, and there are people out there that specialize in repairing this board. And I would say any other of these boards that you can't find, there are shops out there that has mastered these boards and can make the repair for you. As well as there is a couple of distributors out there that have reconditioned boards or rebuild boards out there. And like I said, you can put in a part number and Google it in most cases. And you'll find a part supplier for it, and keep this particular TV going for you. I'm going to give one of the sources. I'm going to give two sources name. You can try PTS Electronics. They're good about having boards for these Panasonics and Encompass parts. They also are good about having reconditioned or rebuilt parts for your Panasonic plasma TV. As well as me, I have brand new parts. I don't have a big inventory of Panasonic parts, but I may have what you need, and it'll be new. So try me first. But I just wanted to give you some options if I can't help you, or you could go further and just, get the TV up and going. It's all good to me, as long as we helping somebody. So the next thing I want to talk about is the preventive maintenance. And it's two things about this set that if you have a working set that you really must do to these TVs instead of just watching it and watching it and watching it until it's failed. Because this is what it's called, preventive maintenance. So you can prevent a failure with the set if you do these couple of things. Number one, these sets generate heat. And as you can see, there's fans, 2 fans in this particular TV. Well, what you want to do is, just like any other fan, if you keep a fan cool, it's unbelievable the temperature that'll drop by its performance. So in other words, you keep a fan, the cleaner you keep it, the cooler air that'll come through it. Okay? Now, if you can look at this particular one up here at the top, I'll zoom it in for you. I've cleaned that one. This one right here, I've cleaned it. Now, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, turn the camera. And we're gonna zoom in on this other one. And if you look, you can see how dirty it is. See? And it's a big difference. So, zoom back out and put the camera back on point. And what I do is I simply take a brush and I just clean the blades off. I got a saw like a specialized vacuum that I use to catch the dust, but you just clean the blades off. It's 2 screws holding it. If you need to get to the back to clean it, just take the screws off. You ain't hurting nothing. And really clean those blades back and front. See? See, it's a big difference. This is very important. Now, this is something that's unique about these televisions. These screws will turn backwards. That means they will loosen themselves up over a period of time, and then the grounding on these plasma TVs are very important. See where you got these tabs here? That's grounding. That's grounding. A lot of these things have grounding ports on them or points on them. That's really necessary. You can take a brand new board and don't put all the screws in and one of them be a ground. You'll blow this board out and any other board on here. But getting back on track, that's the why. If you just get you a Phillips head screwdriver and just tighten up every Phillips head screwdriver on any of these boards, just go in there and tighten them up. Tighten them up. You're going to find something that's loose. You know, we got one behind here, just disconnect, connect it, tighten it up. Same thing over here with the main board, you know. Same thing with the main board. Tighten up these screws. You got screws here, you got screw here, here, here. All these are ground screws here. This a ground screw. No, these two are for sure. But anyway, on both sides of this set, if you do that, you will extend the probability of you not having a failure with this TV probably about, I'd say 50%, if not more. Now, you do have the thing is, like I said in a earlier video that I did, when you or my customers bring a television to me, I am a full service shop. I am a professional. I do not cut corners no kind of way. I use original parts. And what I'm getting at is, this is the part that failed, right? I don't put this part back in here without going through every board in this set looking for cracked circuits due to the age of the set and the current and the heat that's drawn on some of these components that can cause deterioration on the where the component is soldered to the circuit board, which we call cracked circuits. I go through every board in here to reflow my total my total thing is to reflow, find and reflow any cracked circuits on any board on this particular TV due to the age of it, so that this repair I made, which extend the life to get it playing even more so, then I got boards on the other side or somewhere else where, you know, nothing has been done to them, and now they got a cracked circuits, and then they just, you know, have a failure on that board. You see what I'm saying? So I try to do a complete job. I do a complete job. While I was waiting on this particular board to come, I went through every board on here with a fine-tooth comb looking for cracked circuits to reflow the cracked circuits. Now, I can turn this set back over to my customer with confidence. So if you're doing preventive maintenance and you have a soldering iron and you got those kind of skills, well, you could take it to another level. But just being a consumer without those skills, you can take a Phillips screwdriver and tighten up the Phillips head screws and clean the ventilation system for this TV to hopefully extend the life of your television. So with that being said, I'm going to show you the beautiful picture that this television have on it once the repair was made. Okay. We're looking at an 11-year-old plasma television. Beautiful picture. Like I said, Cadillac TV of the modern televisions. Very worthwhile to get repaired. And if you have one need to be repaired, think about trying to get it repaired. If you have one that's going and it's been going for a while, don't wait until it breaks. Go in there and do the maintenance. Clean the fans. Take a Phillips head screwdriver and tighten up the boards inside. I mean, at the least. And try to get some longevity out the set. And like I said, I guarantee you just those two moves are going to extend the life of your television. And I guarantee you're going to find some loose screws. So we're going to go ahead and conclude this video. We thank you for watching. Please subscribe to Patch One Stripe. And visit our store, patchonestripe.com. TV replacement parts. Your #1 source for quality, hard to find TV replacement parts. And with that being said, if you watch my videos a lot, or if you're new to it, here's the time where I got to say, I got to go. Have a good day. I hope I help you. Let's try to keep these TVs out of the landfill. Most of all, try to help somebody today. Make somebody smile. We'll see you the next time.